Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to us all once again as we meet to discuss our golden words for today. Inshallah, today our golden words are going to be about the world and life in general. Our first golden words, we are picking it from Maqamatul Hariri. Maqamatul Hariri is the Assemblies of Hariri, a series of stories that Al-Hariri wrote. He wrote them kind of for entertainment and also for literature-wise to study. So it's made of poems and prose. 50 stories in a bit voluminous book like that. In one of the stories, one of the assemblies, each story is called an assembly, Maqama. In one of them, I think the second one, Maqamat al-Hulwaniya, he says, تبا لطالب الدنيا تبا لطالب الدنيا ثنى إليها انسبابه ما يستفيق غراما بها وفرط صبابه ولو درى لكفاه مما يروم سبابه. Okay, what is Hariri telling us? He is saying that tabban, woe betides, or kind of predicting a case for talib dunya, somebody who seeks the world. Tabban li talib dunya thana ilayha insibaba, who hastens to the world, is always leaning towards the world. The world, what is the world here? You mean worldly materials. Insibaba is he's leaning. So he's always leaning towards the world and the worldly things. In anything, his interest is about gaining the worldly things. And in Subaba, they say the root of it is Sur'atul Mashi, walking fast. So it's like anytime this person is so hasting to catch up with the world. That's why he's saying Tabban. This person is in a disaster. Tabban li talibi dunya ثنى إليها انسبابا. And he says ما يستفيق غراما بها وفرط صبابا. Istafaqa is to come to awakeness, wake up. Istafiq, when you say istafiq, bimana wake up or come to consciousness. It says ما يستفيق غراما, and gharam is شدة الحب, severe love, ardent love. So he says ما يستفيق غراما بها, أي غراما بالدنيا. Should he not wake up from this severe desire for the world? ما يستفيق غراما بها وفرط صبابا. Fard is excess. In one of these songs or abiyat, he says زدني بفرط الحب فيك تحيرا, increase me in your love such that I will get overdosed with it and get overwhelmed, confused with it. زدني بفرط الحب فيك تحيرا. Okay, that was talking about Allah or talking about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that is a positive one. But here it's talking about the world. Said ما يستفيق غراما بها, أي غراما بالدنيا. Should he not wake up from this ardent love for the world? وفرط صبابة. Sabab is also love, affection, and this excess affection he's having for the world. And he says ولو درى, if he had known, or if he should know, لَكَفَاهُ مِمَّا يَرُومُ سُبَابًا. Subab is a little drop, or the remaining portion of a drink. When somebody takes a drink, the remaining portion. Subab is a small portion. So here he uses it to represent small. And he says, if he had known, لَكَفَاهُ مِمَّا يَرُومُ سُبَابًا. If he had known what he is seeking for, a little of it would have satisfied him. That is the worldly things. If man had known what the world is about, a little of it would have satisfied man. Okay, so that is the end of the first one. So you can memorize it like that. تَبًّا لِطَالِبِ دُنْيَا ثَنَى إِلَيْهَا انْسِبَابًا مَا يَسْتَفِيقُ غَرَامًا بِهَا وَفَرْطَ صَبَابًا وَلَوْ دَرَى لَكَفَاهُ مِمَّا يَرُومُ سُبَابًا. Okay, and again, number 2, we pick from Ta'alim al-Muta'allim, again, a very precious book. He says, هي الدنيا أقل من القليل. Such is the world. أقل من القليل. Smaller than the tiniest thing. وعاشقها, and the one who is severely in love with the world, أذل من الذليل. He is more baseless, he is more debased than even the word debasing itself. He is more low than the most low person in this world. تصم بسحرها, the world with its magic, تصم, it deafens. تصم بسحرها قوما, it deafens people, it makes people go deaf. بسحرها, with its magic, that is the worldly materials. When somebody is so into it, he is deaf. He doesn't have attention for anything. And he says, وَتُعْمِي, and it blinds. It makes people go blind. And he says, فَهُمْ مُتَحَيِّرُونَ بِلَا دَلِيلٍ. Here there is a little bit I want to. The word dalil is proof. The word dalil also is a guide. So I would like to explain it in light of the two. It says, فَهُمْ مُتَحَيِّرُونَ. Mutahayyir is somebody who is confused. It says, and so it makes people confused. You see them confused when they are chasing the world. They forget humanity. They forget everything. Kill for money, whatever they will do. It says, مُتَحَيِّرُونَ بِلَا دَلِيلٍ. Here we can say they are confused without someone to guide them. One, which is lighter. And then also, for whom mutahayyiruna bila dalil, they are confused, and you look at them and you do not find any apparent reason why they should be in that state. The world, after all, for what? That is what he means. So it's just two verses. You can also make time to memorize it. Here, الدنيا أقل من القليل وعاشقها أذل من الذليل تصم بسحرها قوما وتعمي فهم متحيرون بلا دليل. Okay, now let's pick our last one, which is a bit lengthier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 abiyat. It's not that much. This is by Ibrahim ibn العباس الصولي, to the best of my knowledge now. Our focus is the poem. He says, it's a very popular poem. If you should check it online, you can just type the first words online. لا تأسفن على الدنيا. You will see it recited nicely. You hear لا تأسفن على الدنيا فالموت he says لا تأسفن على الدنيا وما فيها فالموت لا شك يفنينا ويفنيها ومن يك همه الدنيا ليجمعها فسوف يوما على رغم يخليها. It goes with that rhyme. You will find it inshallah. He says لا تأسفن. تأسف, do not feel sorry على الدنيا, over the world, or over what you lose in the world. If you should lose something in the world, it is not to abide. The world is transient. So if you lose something in this transient journey, you shouldn't be so wild about it. Don't be sorry over the world. Don't feel bad over that. لا تأسفن على الدنيا وما فيها, and what is in it. He says why? فالموت, for death, لا شك يفنينا, will definitely take us out. Afna, to end something, to finish up something. فالموت لا شك يفنينا, death will inevitably get us into extinction. ويفنيها, and also get the world also into extinction. So we will go, the world will go. If you lose anything in this world, what is the big deal? Of course, we are human, the weakness is there, we will feel bad, but then we need to conscientize ourselves again. And he says, وَمَنْ يَكُنْ هَمُّهُ الدُّنْيَا, whoever makes all his worry, all that he is worried about is the world. لِيَجْمَعَهَا, to gather it. He wants to gather every worldly thing. You seem so wild. That is all his worry. فَسَوْفَ يَوْمًا عَلَى رَغْمٍ, he will one day, regardless, يُخَلِّيهَا, leave it. So what? Gathering everything. One day he will leave it. He says, لا تشبع النفس من دنيا تجمعها. The soul do not get satisfied, or the person does not get satisfied with the whole world. You can't just put the whole world into yourself to satisfy you. That does not satisfy you. That is one thing of it. The next bite he says, وَبُلْغَةُ min qiwamil aishi takfiha. A little morsel of sustenance is enough for it. Bulga, morsel, قوام العيش, sustenance. وبلغة من قوام العيش تكفيها, a little piece of sustenance will satisfy the soul. The whole world, you can't just put the whole world in yourself. Even if you get a house of 10 bedrooms, you sleep in one. That is what it means. Okay. Or we can say, do not satisfy yourself with the whole world that you gather, when it can get satisfied by just a morsel of sustenance. Okay, why do you get that greedy? It says, اعمل لدار البقاء رضوان خازنها. This is the side that I love most because it mentions my name, Ridwan. اعمل لدار البقاء رضوان خازنها. Work for the abode that abides. Dar al-Baqa, he means the heaven. This is transient, as I've said. The world that will remain forever is the hereafter. So he says, اعمل لدار الآخرة, اعمل لدار البقاء. Work for the hereafter. Ridwan, or work for the heaven. And he says, Ridwanu khazinuha. Ridwan is the one in charge of it. As people say, or as we've been told, Ridwan is the keeper of the gates of heaven, or is the keeper of heaven. I don't want to say security, it's my name. اعمل لدار البقاء رضوان خازنها. Work for the hereafter, where Ridwan is the keeper. Al-Jaru Ahmadu, and the neighbor is Ahmad. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be your neighbor. وَالرَّحْمَنُ بَانِيهَا, and Allah, the All-Merciful, is the one who built it. وَالرَّحْمَنُ بَانِيهَا. أَرْضٌ, a land, لَهَا ذَهَبٌ, a land of gold. وَالْمِسْقُ طِينَتُهَا, and perfume is a sand. A sand is all perfume. He says, وَالزَّعْفَرَانُ, Za'faran is saffron. Is this red thing like that? It grows into, there is this fruit, flower. You find this red kind of flowers in it. The red flowers is used as spices. Saffron, you can search for it, S-A-F-F-R-O-N. If you search saffron, you find it like that. Or you can search za'faran, you find it. And it says, وَالزَّعْفَرَانُ حَشِيشٌ. Za'faran is a grass, nabitun fiha, that grows in it. Za'faran is supposed to be a precious something. And he says, the grass that grows in Jannah, or in the hereafter, is this za'faran. Readily available, handy. He says, مَنْ يَشْتَرِ الدَّارَ فِي الْفِرْدَوْسِ يَعْمُرُهَا. Who will buy a house or an apartment? Who will buy an abode in Firdaus, the Jannat al-Firdaus? Who will buy an abode in Firdaus? يَعْمُرُهَا, that he owns. He says, مَنْ يَشْتَرِ الدَّارَ فِي الْفِرْدَوْسِ. Who will buy an abode in Jannat al-Firdaus? يَعْمُرَهَا بِرَقْعَةٍ, that he will own or earn or build. يَعْمُرُ, to build or to own. يَعْمُرُهَا بِرَقْعَةٍ, that he will own with a raka'ah. That is a unit of prayer. Allahu Akbar, up to sujood, till you come to sit in the julus or jalsa. That is what we call raka'ah, a unit of prayer. So he says you own this abode, or you buy it, but what you pay with it is the raka'ah that you do, like a nafila prayer. يَأْمُرُهَا بِرَكَعَةٍ فِي ظَلَامٍ, that he will own with a unit of prayer in darkness. فِي ظَلَامِ اللَّيْلِ يُخْفِيهَا, a unit of prayer that he will say in the darkness of the night, hiding it from the sight of everybody, between himself and his Lord alone. And in the end he says, النَّفْسُ, the soul, تَطْمَعُ فِي الدُّنْيا, desires the world. The soul automatically is after the world, so eager. And he says, وَقَدْ عَلِمَتْ, and the soul knows very well, أَنَّ السَّلَامَةَ مِنْهَا, that want to be safe from the world, or want to have peace in the world, تَرْقُ مَا فِيهَا, the person should leave what is in the world. Leave here doesn't mean totally. The Quran says, لا تنسى فلا تنسى نصيبك من الدنيا, do not forget your portion of the world. Not leaving it completely, but don't be so greedy such that you lose your humanity in chasing for the world. This brings us to the end of our golden words for today. So I'll read the bait very fast. لا تأسفن على الدنيا وما فيها فالموت لا شك يفنينا ويفنيها ومن يكن همه الدنيا ليجمعها فسوف يوما على رغم يخليها لا تشبع النفس من دنيا تجمعها وبلغة من كوام العيش تكفيها اعمل لدار البقاء رضوان خازنها الجار أحمد والرحمن بانيها أرض لها ذهب والمسك طينتها والزعفران هشيش نابت فيها من يشتري الدار في الفردوس يعمرها بركعة في ظلام الليل يخفيها النفس تطمع في الدنيا وقد علمت أن السلامة منها ترك ما فيها. النفس تطمع على الدنيا أو تطمع في الدنيا وقد علمت أن السلامة منها ترك ما فيها. With this we end our golden words for today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ramadan Mubarak.